God is dead. You've heard it a million times, right? It's probably one of the most famous and, most misunderstood phrases in all of philosophy. And it's so easy to get it wrong. People think it's this triumphant shout from an atheist like, hooray, we're free. But that's not it, not even close. For Friedrich Nietzsche, it was a diagnosis, a really chilling prophecy about a world that had basically kicked out its own foundations and hadn't even noticed the cracks starting to form. To really get what he was warning us about, we have to start where he did, with a story.
So, picture this. It's not some philosopher in a dusty office. It's a madman running through a busy marketplace in the middle of the day. He's holding a lit lantern, which is crazy, right? The sun is out, and he's screaming, "I seek God! I seek God!" This guy isn't someone who's lost his faith. No, he's more like a prophet who sees a truth so absolutely terrifying that everyone around him, all the supposedly sane people, they just laugh at him.
And this is the twist. This is the heart of it all. The madman's frantic search ends with this horrifying realization. It's the people in the markets, the modern, enlightened, self-satisfied atheists. They're the ones who did it. They are the murderers. And the scariest part? They have no clue what they've actually done. They don't understand the scale of their own crime.
Okay, so to truly understand what God is dead means, we have to dig into this parable that Nietzsche tells. The story of this one lone figure, this prophet, trying to scream a warning to a world that just isn't ready to listen.
So let's break this down. You've got this incredible contrast here. On one side, you have the madman. He's the only one who sees it, right? He sees the foundation of Western civilization starting to crumble. And on the other side, you've got the crowd. They're smug, they're modern, they're busy with their shopping. And their laughter? It's not a sign of them being smart. It's a sign of a really, really profound ignorance. They've gotten rid of God, sure, but they have absolutely no idea what that act has truly cost them.
So, if we're not talking about a literal death, what exactly are we talking about? Well, Nietzsche frames it as a kind of metaphorical murder, a crime committed not by one person, but by all of us, by modern humanity. And it's a crime with consequences we are only just beginning to feel.
And here's the crucial thing to get, what God even stands for in this whole thing. For Nietzsche, God wasn't just a being in the sky. It was the entire bedrock of our civilization. It was the guarantee of universal truth, of an objective right and wrong, of a reality that had some kind of divine order. So his death, well, that means the total collapse of that entire framework. And what's left is moral relativism, confusion, and this deep, profound sense of being lost.
And he doesn't let anyone off the hook. He points the finger squarely at us. This wasn't something that happened overnight. It was a slow-motion murder, carried out over centuries. And the murder weapons, ironically, they were the very tools of the Enlightenment: reason, science, and this relentless desire for truth. Nietzsche actually argued that Christianity's own obsession with truth is what eventually created the scientific mindset that made the whole religious worldview unbelievable. In a way, it was its own undoing.
And the result of this murder isn't some happy-go-lucky freedom. No. The madman's prophecy describes something much, much more chilling. It's a cosmic, terrifying void.
I mean, just think about that image. The horizon is what gives us our bearings, right? It's our reference point. Wiping it away means we are completely and totally lost. There's nothing left to guide us.
And without that horizon, without that sun that our world used to orbit, we're just in a constant free fall. It's this feeling of pure vertigo. There is no more up or down. There's no fixed moral compass to tell us which way to go. We're just plunging.
And this is where we end up. A cold, empty void, feeling the breath of empty space. This is the chilling, existential reality that Nietzsche saw waiting for us after all the comforting certainties were gone.
So this feeling, right? This feeling of being completely lost in an infinite nothing, well, it has a name: nihilism. It's the official diagnosis for the condition Nietzsche saw coming down the line. It's the belief that without God, our lives have no purpose, our laws have no foundation, and everything we do lacks any real intrinsic value.
Now, into this nihilistic void, a very specific kind of social poison starts to fester. And Nietzsche gives these carriers of poison a name. He calls them the tarantulas. They are the creatures that absolutely thrive in a world without any real values. So the tarantulas aren't just your standard bad guys. They represent an entire ideology that's rooted in weakness. They are the preachers of nothingness, who use the most beautiful-sounding words, equality, justice, as weapons. Their actual goal isn't to lift everybody up.
It's to poison and pull down anyone who's great.
And this just lays out their playbook perfectly. When they preach all should be equal, what they're secretly thinking is, no one should be greater than us. When they cry out for justice, what they really want is revenge against anyone who's stronger or better than them. It's a whole philosophy designed to create a flat, boring, sterile world where nobody can ever rise above the crowd.
And there it is. That's the punchline. That's the poison in their bite. Nietzsche is basically warning us, the next time you hear a call for justice that's just dripping with bitterness and resentment, you have to ask yourself, is this a call to build something better, or is it just the resentful whisper of a tarantula?
But, and this is so important, Nietzsche doesn't just leave us in despair. After this absolutely dire diagnosis, he gives us a radical prescription. The death of God isn't just a catastrophe, he says it's also humanity's greatest achievement, and it presents us with a truly monumental challenge. This is the ultimate question he leaves us with. If we are the ones who destroyed the source of all value and meaning, doesn't that responsibility now fall on our shoulders? To be worthy of this cosmic murder, we now have to become the creators of value ourselves.
This is the path of what Nietzsche called the Übermensch, or the Overman. And this figure isn't born from comfort and safety. No, they are forged in struggle. They're fueled by what Nietzsche called glorious inequality, the very thing the tarantulas want to destroy, because that's what pushes us to strive and to overcome. And crucially, this isn't about dominating other people. It's about mastering yourself. It's about finding the strength to create your own values to live by, to define your own meaning in a universe that doesn't just hand one to you anymore.
And the mindset you need to even attempt this climb? It's what he called amor fati, a love of one's fate. Now, this isn't just passively accepting what happens to you. It's a powerful, joyful yes to everything. It's about totally rejecting resentment, rejecting the wish that things had been different. Instead, you see suffering not as some curse, but as a necessary ingredient for strength and creativity. To love your fate means to affirm every single moment of your life, the good, the bad, the ugly, as essential to who you are, to want nothing to be different.
So, that's where we are. According to Nietzsche's prophecy, the deed is done. The foundation is gone. We are living in that void he talked about, whether we can feel its cold breath on our necks yet or not.
And that leaves us with the final, haunting question. What comes next? Will we let the tarantulas and all the resentment fill that void with just a flat, sterile nothingness? Or will we accept the terrifying, magnificent challenge to become creators ourselves and build something new, something worthy of that empty throne?